Hello and welcome to True Guidance Tarot. My name is Adriana Teodoro-Dier. I'm an intuitive reader with a message for the fire signs. This is for Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius. Before we get to your message, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about some thoughts coming out of a personal experience I had yesterday. And that thought is that there's so much information available to us, so much free spiritual advice in the form of YouTube videos, in the form of articles, in the form of self-help books. And all of these may have a lot of truth in them. But the important thing to remember is that they're kind of painted with general, like a general solution, a blanket, one size fits all, like here's the problem, here's what you need to do. So it doesn't take into account the individual, what your path is, what you're supposed to learn while you're here. And this is not just a pitch for my one-on-one tarot readings. It's a reminder to yourself that there are no hard and fast rules with paths. And that when you take advice from someone, that you really need to see if it resonates and really works for you. Because while the broad brushstroke kind of gives you the general direction, which may or may not work, your guides may want you to do something else because either your path breaks the rules of that advice, or it's not the right time, or there's something else that you should be shifting your focus on. You know, sometimes watching these videos about manifestation and talking to you about how to do this, that may not actually be part of your journey this time. You may not be here to manifest certain things. You may be here to manifest other things. So, bit of a ramble, but the short message is remember that the advice needs to be specifically tailored to you. And that's the kind of advice you need to take into account because there's so much more going on than just the truth of that advice. So let's get to your reading. We have a lot of pairs, a lot of the ideas of cycles ending and beginning, as well as pairs of people, kind of opposites, shall we say. So the energy around you this week is the High Priestess. Lovely. And the way you feel about it is the Ten of Swords. Now, the advice, we've got the Hierophant in one direction, the Three of Swords leaning a different direction into the Ace of Swords. Now, before we even get into the meaning of this, we have the ending. So the 10 represents the culmination of a cycle in tarot. So 10 of Swords, ending. Ace of Swords is the initiation or the beginning. So you have ending and beginning. The other pair we have here is the High Priestess and the Hierophant, because another name for Hierophant is priest. So we have inner knowledge, we have outer knowledge, we have inner intuition, we have outer systems. So what's going on is that you're going to really get strong intuition this week, which I know is usual for you anyway as a fire sign, but your intuition is going to be very strong. And you're going to feel, some of you, like the sky is falling. That something you've believed for a long time is just going to cave in on you a little bit, and you're going to feel like, oh my God, this is it. This is the end of it. And that High Priestess is telling you, yep, this is the right time, and that intuition is going to come very strong. Now, this is not necessarily a bad thing. In fact, it's not a bad thing at all. I know it sounds chaotic the way I'm describing it, but remember we said the Hierophant was the old system. You're going to form this resolve in your mind that the old way of doing things, the Hierophant, is just not working anymore, because what it ends up doing is cuts you off from yourself. It cuts you off from your full potential. And you're going to say, you know what, that's not good enough for me anymore. I am ready to make a decision to be and to do something different. Yes, that made sense in English. And so what we have is this Ace of Swords starting a new direction. So that old belief folded, it crumbled, that 10 of Swords. And because there's now space in your psyche, you can make a new belief, a new way forward for yourself, because everything in our world starts with thought, right? So the thought comes before the action, it comes before the feeling. All of the thoughts that you were having before were leading you to actions that were not in harmony or truthful to yourself. And that's why we say you're cutting off from yourself, because you're not able to live up to your full potential and to truly do what's in your heart. And this is the important part, it's all self-imposed. The external circumstance didn't do this to you, you did this to yourself. And because you're willing to let go of that self-limiting belief, you're going to be able to forge this new way forward. However, just a word of caution, this idea, this belief is new. It's still a baby. You're going to have to shield it a little bit to protect it from the wind and the rain. So really allow this idea to take hold deep inside of you and incubate. Maybe even wait to talk to someone about it. Although, again, you have to feel if that's right for you. But the point is that you need to guard this belief pretty strongly because there's other forces within you that are going to want to attack it. Okay? So please like, comment, subscribe below. I always love to hear from you. And if you are interested in a one-on-one reading and you feel that I would be a good reader for you, that we would resonate together, please check out my website, trueguidancetarot.com, and see what's there. See if anything speaks to you. I will see you next week and have a good one.